Oh yeah, you're in the studio with the live local artist today at the spillway with the congregation. All my homies and water up to their ankles. Say hey. Look at them. Quite a gathering this afternoon here at the spillway. The last time I was here it must have been 115 degrees. Maybe I exaggerate. It was probably more like 112. But here we are. Semi-busy day on the lake. People getting their vitamin D, and I'm over here splashing some paint around. I'm doing round 2 on this canvas that I started a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to show you some of the details. The lighting is a little bit different. It was there's some clouds in the sky. Sometimes we're playing hide and seek. There's my setup over there. A little bit away from the action of the birds, but I get a better vantage point from here. And here's the piece. If you remember, you can. If you don't, you can go back and watch it. It's in the archives. There's a little bit of bird action back there for you, and we got a nice view this fine day. Trying to give you the most opportune vantage point. All right, I'm gonna switch my mic, add an extension cord to it. That way I can go all the way back and forth to my table and my easel. I've created a little bit of a studio space for me out here in the plein air. And we are going to just immerse ourselves into our own little thing going on here. I'm glad you joined me. Feel free to say hello and tell me where you're watching from, and share with us some of your works. We've got a growing community, and we're always happy to see what our friends are up to. Test. How's everybody doing? All right. So let's see. We're going to just mix up a little bit of that water is like brown. We're gonna mix up some sap green and some orange. Well, what do I got in the way of orange? I've got some cadmium medium. We're gonna scrub that in down here. That's the sediment under the water. It's gonna help to create a little bit of a stage for our herons down here. Spreading that around. Right, there's more birds. I'm gonna have to add more birds. The last time I was here, there were a lot of birds, but they flew away right as I started getting around to painting them. Some of them flew back. Well, actually, they flew away when I started the painting. They came back as I was getting ready to leave, and I knew it. They were trying to play games with me. I had to go somewhere, and they are gone the entire time I'm making the painting, but they decide to show up right as I'm ready to go away. Look at the wind. I'm trying to fight that wind. Come on. Don't do this to me, wind. You already blew my easel over once. What do you do whenever that happens? If I can, I'll try and keep painting. If it becomes an issue, you know, I'll re-angle my canvas and my easel setup. That's a lot easier than having to go back, dig up bungees or look for rope and tie down. If I've got a hand, they're standing on the back of my easel. If I got a free body somewhere, they're standing on the back of my easel, supporting keeping it from flying away. And only if both fly away will I acknowledge, well, at least you tried. So it's on you. It's on you when you stand at my easel. So I just added a couple of birds in there. You can see the background there. I'll bring you in for a closer look at the brushwork and how you can maybe get a chance to see how I spin my brush as I work different angles of it. I figure with the brush's edge, you've got multiple opportunities to lay down different kinds of strokes. Back stroke, front stroke, this edge, that edge, roll it right as you're pulling it, kind of things like that. Mixing up a little bit of white and yellow for my birds. They're all just hanging out down here. They don't really look like they're hunting. They're just kind of chilling. I mean, I probably wouldn't hunt there if I were one of those birds. They probably know this already. They don't need me to tell them. In fact, I look for them when I go fishing. They tell me where to fish. They're my GPS. GPS, is that right? No, it's not the right. Fish finders. Those are my fish finders. GPS. No wonder I'm always late. My birds are my GPS. Okay, let's see. Let's clean my brush. I'm gonna get some fresh titanium white down because their feathers are really white, and I want that to come across. Let's see. I'll just take the tube with me because this is almost an empty tube here, and I've got a really dirty palette. I haven't changed it in a couple of days. It might be time to change out my palette. You know it when I start talking about it. It's a mess. I could paint on a coffee lid. To-go cup lid. I've done that before. Anything will be my palette. A six-pack box. Drink carriers. Styrofoam cup. It's the 360 palette right there. We got a bunch of birds just sitting down here, enjoying the cool ripples of the water on their feet. You know, I like doing that too. Got a shallow creek, nice clean running water. The river. Moving water, that's the key. I love the soft, gentle roar of the rush of the water spilling over rocks and continuing on its way. We even have a little bird out there. He's a little guy. They're only letting him hang out. He's no threat to them. Now we got some over here on the bank, well, on the edge, on the water's edge. I believe if they're the ones that are probably trying to scoop a little something out, they're like, okay, well, I'll chill with you guys, but I'm going to chill over here so that if a little fish happens to come this way, I'm going to take care of him. You know, maybe get a little snack along the way. It's a late night, boys. They're over here. I just had a cicada land on me. Kind of freaked me out. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He must have thought I was a shrub to hide in. Alright, we got a gathering of birds happening here. Just playing around with my brush. I could see the orange cadmium beaks today. I'm going to add those. The other day the sun was so bright I couldn't even see those. Their yellow beaks. Now we're going to add those. Different day, different angle of the light, different time of day. What's it today? I don't know. Hard to say. I don't even remember the time of day I showed up for that one. It was a mid-morning painting. Just a little bit earlier than what we're talking about now. Well, the sun has moved. The earth is what moves. Oh yeah. Thank you, Galileo. Yeah, let's get a little beak right there. How about another beak? Beak, 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 beak. Don't overdo it. You can get a different color for your beak. Beaks. Beaks. It's a different color for your beaks. I might have laid it on too thick there. It's alright. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Just do it again. You can always take some of that paint off too, right? You got your handy dandy Sestida Studio paint rag. Let's do that number over here too. Especially designed to wipe away your paint. Okay, we're gonna just add beaks everywhere. You get a beak, you get a beak, you get a beak, and you get a beak. Oh, you want a beak too? There's a beak for you and a beak for you. Everybody's got beaks except the guys over here on the edge, and they're the ones that need them because they're trying to get some that halibut. All right, we're gonna add a little. We're not gonna let this foliage color go to waste. We're just scrubbing a little bit of highlights over here and over there. You know, the sun is shining, beating down on my baseball cap. Throw some of this over here, some of that over there, some of this pitter patter, patter pitter. Those are leaves, believe it or not. Maybe I didn't want that color. Maybe I didn't want that color there. Overall, let's back up, take a look at it, because balance is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. It's just a tranquilo Sunday. We're just on the lake with the birds, touching up this painting. I'm going to do something with this area here. See how it's kind of brown? What we're looking at is way yonder, the canyon. Get ready, because the canyon is next. What are we going to do? We're going to ignore for now the birds. We were there. We were all about them. We actually mixed up some color and we got with it. Now we're just going to turn away from it and forget about it. Tell those birds that they aren't ruining my day. So I'm backing up and I'm looking down the canyon way down there, where color starts to change and shadows start to almost like not even matter, but they do. Trust me, they do. See? Way over there. That's what I'm going to be transcribing to my canvas. If I could show you what I wanted to show you where I was going to be working, it would be in this area here and this area here. I'm going to divide up that area of my canvas into some quadrants. There's going to be this wall that is coming towards us. This is coming towards us, but at an angle down on my XYZ coordinates, and this whole thing kind of slopes, but there's a transition here between this color and this color. Something happens, and this is more water and more texture. This is a whole different, what I call a plane, visual plane, right? It's like a geometric shape that comes out through there. This is inconsequential. All of this railing here, I'm not even paying attention to it. That I do incorporate a little bit along the edge here. You look at these people walking over there. Look, I'm painting. All right, painting people. This is the easiest way to paint people I've done ever. Painting you. Look, paint. Oh, look, there's a bicyclist. Anyways, if it were that easy, folks, well, here we are. Here's my area on the canvas there. Would you like to see it close up like this? Okay, I'll do that. A little bit right there. Maybe I'll put some people in there. So this is what we were just looking at. It is abstract. I say it's abstract. Some people won't say that's abstract, but I think it's very abstract in a sense. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not even going to discuss it. I'm just going to paint it. How's that? I'll let you decide. Okay, so I'm mixing up some, it looks like some bluish gray with some lemon yellow, and I've got this color here. Let's see if it's the right color. We got, like I said, we had these. I'll start up here where it's definitely highlighted. Sunlight's hitting around here on these columns. I got that one out of line. I need to bring it down. This is a dramatic moment for me because when I saw this, I saw like this is a good line here. Then this one is just like out of line. It comes back. It's just too tall. So I got to cut it back. It was frustrating me, but I had to leave it alone because just because, you know. I don't have to explain everything. Gee. Let's see, scrubbing that out. Not good enough. Not good enough. So I'm going to pick up some sap green, mix that with a little permanent green, and we're going to come back and put that down. Round 2 on this, getting rid of that mistake. Just cutting it down. We'll blend that around. Create a little bit of shadowy distance in the distance. And then across the top here, we'll do this with the foliage. I'm liking that tree. Try not to mess it up. Yeah, every painting is an experience, a learning experience, a demonstrative experience, a demonstrative experience where you get to actually test the skills that you've acquired. Well, you've been doing this. You should be learning something from it, right? At least. That's what I think. That's what I tell myself. Show me what you got. Alright, there's some shadowy background way back there. Oh, I was painting off camera. Sorry, folks. I do that from time to time. I'm working that general area there. I have not figured out the color I'm going to use for that slopey cement. I'm going to start with the darker side of that spectrum. That's going to get some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of this green, permanent green mix, and then we're going to do this number over here. Look at that downward swoop, following the contour of the land, a little broken cement here, coming all the way down, just like that. Now we got the washed feel of, it almost feels like layers have been peeled away from this area, like, or acid has eaten away the protective exterior of a mud knife. I was thinking like how to describe that to you, and the only thing I could think of is after I buy a mud knife, brand new sheetrock knife, then and I use it a couple of times, the glossy protective veneer that it comes out of the factory with, it slowly goes away, but it leaves like this mark. You see it nowadays in a lot of modern design where the welding, the scorched metal kind of feel, whatever you call it. It's not quite brushed steel. Anyways, that's all I could think of. Drywall. So we got some white now on my brush. Probably not the best choice of colors, but I've got it on my brush. I'm going to do something with it. I'll just put it right there. I almost put that right back in the same place. Darn it. Dang it, Gerald. Alright, let's see. What are you going to do with this? You wanted to see how white it was. It's pretty white. Pretty white. I'm going to put that on my... See, here's example. I paint with lids. I'm using a lid as my palette right now. This wall falls down. You see, now this is where I run into some problems with my previous drawing. Is that at some point you have to make sense of it. You know, this is a retaining wall, and it does drop down probably 15-20 feet. Easily 20 feet, 22 feet. And it comes around, still wall up here, but it meets a slope, a gentle slope. And this is all cement. This is that washed out area. I'm gonna do that like that and like that, all the way down, just kind of blending that color all the way in. And there you have it, folks. There is the spillway. It's starting to come together. It's not as dramatic as it was last time I was here. I came after a rain, and there was a lot of action with the water coming over. Look at all the birds. Whoa, canvas, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Stay right there. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the larger picture. I've got to look at it too. I got to step back and just kind of, decide, because, it's not the beginning of the painting. At the beginning of the painting, I feel like I can't do any wrong. So I'm wild, I'm crazy, I'm putting color everywhere. And it's not like that right now. You've put a lot of time and effort into getting to this point. You need to treat it like round two. It's not, this relationship has gone to the next level. We need to treat it like such. Oh, there's some orange on my brush. You still have some happy little accidents like that will occur, and we'll take it. We'll just blend that in to the water over here. I want to.
Great work there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to brush our. I wonder about that guy. He was flying past me on his bike, going the opposite direction. How could he have seen and made such a judgment call? Thank you, though. I'll take it. Thank you. Let's see. Back up. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. My easel wants to fly away. Can you see that? You see what I'm talking about? Come on, lake air, lake wind. I love it. It feels good, but don't mess me up right now. Stay on there. Everybody okay? Let's check. Tighten this. It doesn't fly off the easel. What you're dealing with whenever you're, even at this relatively small size of a canvas, what you've created is a sail, basically. Everything wants to sail away. I need you to stay. I don't need you to fly away. I need you to stay. Stay. Thank you. We'll see if that works and for how long that's going to work. Okay, so one of the things I had been thinking about while I was thinking about this when I was not here to deal with it was the splashes going over the edge of the waterfall. What do you want to call that? The spillway? Yes, the spillway. We got lots of water coming across here, so we're gonna paint in shadowy lines. They're like squiggly worms coming across the tops of these blocks of cement. And this is spilling over the edge. Just a thin veneer of White Rock Lake. So many other things came to mind for that description, but a thin veneer of White Rock Lake was just what we needed. Just enough description there. You can imagine the rest. That was nice. That was fun. Let's do that again because it doesn't feel like rushing water. If you know what I'm talking about this whole area. That is happening right here. It just looks like like a blur of white across a field of night, but there it is. And then you got all these triangles there, clean triangles that I definitely want to emphasize on my canvas. So watch it. Watch as it happens. You're going to see it right here. We're going to start with the triangles. I kind of started with some triangles the first round, and those were just these blobs of dark color. And now I'm here because I want to address this. I want to make it feel like triangles. So I squeezed out some Van Dyke Brown, and I am going to add a little bit of French Ultramarine to that, and that's going to create this deep moving color, this very lonesome, I say lonesome, black, because nothing else could fill it. Nothing else could be there. Anything that approaches would be lost. Lonesome. Mixing that up with some fast drying medium, we're going to see how that works for us. Remember, it's triangles. Paint them in. You started with some. They're not quite all triangles, but they've got the starts of being triangles. This brush is a little bit too fat. Too fat. I'm gonna mess up. I need to change my brush. I'm gonna change my brush after this stroke. Next. Yeah, this was just too much brush here. I need it to be a little bit less girth. Cleaning my, let's see here. Get a triangle right here. Oh, I almost went back with that brush. Oh. Okay. Another little dip of the brush into the wet paint. How about a little of that action right there? Wiggle, wiggle. Let's do another one right here. Oh, my canvas is moving. I don't want it to move. Stay still. Oh, come on. Okay. That one's not a triangle at all. Let's do that again. Get that triangle in. What are the triangles? What are triangles? Well, the triangles are the sides of the cement blocks that the water is breaking all over. It's coming off the spillway, and these stair-stepping, very big blocks of cement and rock that form an aesthetic feel here that is soothing and somehow chaotic at the same time. It's almost, I feel like I'm looking at the keys of a piano. Some kind of great, strange, alien kind of organ that produces unearthly sounds. The unearthly sound of water rushing over rock. The shadows underneath here where the fishies hide. I need to give my birds some legs. They don't have legs. Uh-oh. What are you going to do about that, Senor Bird? You don't have any legs. Let's get a little closer view of my splashway there. Let's see. Now I feel like I have lost the block feel that I was talking to you about. So now I'm going to clean my brush off, get a little bit of, I didn't really clean my brush that great. I just did a little swish, but I did that on purpose because I want to put a dark plane up here. This is where water is running across on each of these, and then I'll put like the bubbles of rushing water, you know, rushing water bubbles as it passes over rough surfaces, or any surface really. It's the churning of the liquid, the molecules churning and creating pockets of air. Then we have these nice solid platforms that the water finally comes to rest on out here as it rushes to its final reservoir. A reservoir, that's what it is. And then it's carried away down the river. Downstream. Bye-bye. This is a brick formation that goes all the way down. Leads to the light column. Lightly brushing in some shadow. Remember, this wall is hidden from the sun, so it's kind of shadowy. That's going to help create the feeling of depth. Trying that. Hi there.
Hi.
All right, I'm liking it. Let's put a little color back here. Well, we got waves and ripples of waves happening all right here, so we're just going to let that tap my brush to kind of cleaning it. I'm getting rid of the extra paint that's on my brush because I wanted to pass around here, but I didn't want to leave a lot of pigment. So I took it off in a place there, like the reflection of the water, where it really doesn't matter color, because any color could be anywhere. And there you have it. Here's my painting as it's happening. The Grand Canyon of Dallas. That's what I call it. White Rock Lake, the spillway. We're here on this lovely Sunday afternoon, chilling with the birds. They're down there getting their feet wet. That's what we're looking at. This is the second time I've brought this canvas out to this very spot. And I'm able to, now that the paint is dried, the first layer of paint dried, I did get a hearty underdrawing and a good start on a painting, and now I'm coming back. I've added more birds. I'm playing with the reflections of the water. I've had a chance to hone in on the details of the spillway, and I'm now moseying through the third quarter of this paint. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. Blue, when it comes to painting water, blue's tricky. You do and you don't want it. You know, it's the only reason it's there is because it's reflecting in the sky. If the sky is blue, right? Otherwise, I'd reevaluate the content of blue in your water. It doesn't feel real whenever you're looking, unless you're painting one of those very special places where the water is blue. Then it'll do. But around here, there ain't no blue water. And if there is, it's pretty sketchy. So remember that when you talk about blue water. All right, let's see. There's rushing water coming off of each of these brick forms here. I'm having to paint in the shadows. I put in a lot of white the first time I painted these in the first session, and I'm covering up a lot of that white, and it's just kind of, it feels counterintuitive. It feels counterintuitive to me to do this, but I'm doing it anyways because I know that sometimes you just have to put yourself in, you got to get out of your comfort zone, right? My comfort zone regarding works of art is better left alone. most of the time. But here we are. We're touching it up. And we're enjoying it. That's the thing. It's not that bad. It seems like a little bit of work to bring the same painting out, set up your easel at the same place, walk back to the car in the same path. But then you get down here and actually it is like a whole nother painting. It's like a whole nother painting experience, because you have to put yourself into the mindset of finishing. Finishing? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't feel pressured like I have to finish this piece. But it's not like the majority of my pieces. And so, with that in mind, I'll do things that I would normally do. I'll get back to the painting part of it. Put in a little bit of color like that. Some cadmium color up here. Clear that all the way around. This doesn't feel like a slope. This is a sloping kind of cement bank here. And it feels flat. It does not feel like it's projecting out towards me in the painting. So I'm going to work on that right now. And that will hopefully help me to believe my perspective a little bit more. To believe that. And what I'm talking about, I'll adjust your view so you can see. You can see now this embankment here that runs. It's kind of hidden behind the fence there, or the gate. Well, I've omitted that because I wanted to. Now I'm going to mix up some cement, some sunlit cement, and I'm going to use cadmium medium for that sunlight, and some cadmium light for that sunlight. And then I don't really know what the rest of the colors are going to be, because I'm just kind of scraping up whatever is on the palette. And I feel like that kind of natural approach sometimes helps me to achieve that natural kind of feeling of my painting. Alright, so I can never tell you exactly what went into this particular mix of color that I'm about to put down. And hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Cement is dirty, it's uneven, it's smooth, and it's even in the application and the finish, but we're talking about from a painter's standpoint. The qualities of cement has been out in the sun, at Texas sun at that, for years, dozens of years, however long that embankment has been there. It's going to have the essence of time and weathering, so it has every color in it, to some degree. It has the magentas, the cyans, the alizarin crimsons, the titanium white. It has all those colors in varying amounts. And then it's bathed with sunlight. And that's where the distinction comes in. Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not helping me out. Chill out. Don't blow so hard. Okay. What did you think about that? Can you see it? I feel it a little better now. But there's like this washiness going on into the back with this same kind of light color, but it's in the shadows, so don't kid yourself. It is a different hue. It looks white. What I'm talking about is the highlights of it looks like it would be white, but it's a different tone. So barely brush that in. Be careful, because you can ruin your painting at that point. You can make yourself not like your work. One stroke can make you want to throw it into the spillway. Okay, step back towards this. In this point of the painting, it's important to step back more often than at the beginning. At the beginning, you can get into the passion and just like let the brushes flow and let everything go. But at this point, do yourself a favor, step back so you can quickly gauge when you're going off track with something. All right, now sometimes I work on a piece after in these kinds of situations, and I don't feel like I did anything with it when I'm done and I'm leaving. I just feel like I didn't. It doesn't show. It's not like a blank canvas that you walk away with and it went from stark white to now this. Now I come back, I'm putting it out here. I'll put the same amount of time out as I did when I first started it, and I don't feel like I did anything when I'm leaving. But it's not true. I'll take it home, I'll hang it on the wall. Francine will look at it and she'll be like, oh, I really like what you did with it. Or the kids will see it and they'll be like, hey, I really like what you did with it now. Now I can see what you did. That's a true story. Now, we need to think the opposite bank over there. The trees. There's some birds in the trees over here. Let's look at that. Looks like a bed of lettuce with all these birds in front of it. Of course, I don't have the canvas size that this landscape requires, but we're giving it what we got. Yeah, let's see. Am I ready to do anything with that? I think the trick is going to be with the water. The surface of the water is going to make that feel like it is sitting back there. And it's this weird reflection of greens and browns and whites. And oh no! Boom! Oh, you okay down there? Oh my gosh! Holy cow! You guys just got whacked. You got whacked by the wind. Oh. Y'all all right? Oh, everything's blurry. Everything's blurry. I can't focus. You guys all right? Hello? Can you hear me? You okay? Oh, come on. You're gonna be all right, kid. Just get up. Get up. Breathe. Oh, wow. Well, maybe if I clean the lens. How you guys doing? Oof, that smacked right down on you. All right, we're gonna take a break. Let me get my seesaw together, and then we'll see what happens next. We'll see ya.